is Parshas Teruma. Right now, it's Wednesday, and it's the first day of Adar Rishon Tufshin Pei Beis. Yeah. We're in Shemitah and Adar, 2 Adars. You know, every Shevet gets their own corresponding month, and when we have 12 months, that fits perfectly. When we have 13, Yosef is split into Menashe and Ephraim. It's a paladiga time. The whole thing, like, is Adar Rishon, is Adar Sheni. And once you start talking about porno stuff in general, things get totally weird. First of all, the mitzvah of getting drunk is a pella. Like, where does that come from? And you have a ksas mitzvah of Suda and Adar Rishon too, right? The last thing the Rama says in the whole Archaim, he says, Tov Lev Mishteh Samid. It's good to party, right? And I think the Kavachaim connects that with the Tomid that Archaim starts with. Shivisi Hashem L'Negdi Samid. Make sure the partying is a party that very much involves Hashem's presence. But let me share this in mind. The whole thing is L'malam Izman. The whole thing is L'malam Izman. Who says we could go Me'evel? It's above time and space. The whole thing doesn't make sense. We could go from Evel to Yom Tov, yoga and the Simcha. Like if you meet someone who's in yoga and he's not thinking Simcha is on the horizon, that's an impossibility. Yet, anything's possible. The Lubavitcher Rebbe says when you have 2 Adars, you ready for this? There are 60 days of Adar. He says that any Ra, any Kilkulim, or Batal B'Shisha. It's incredibly masugal for changing, for growth, for starting fresh, from maybe Meshibud Legeula, Mamash, like, it's very exciting. The Sar Shalom Bells, could start Purim Torah, right? He says that this Machloikas, where Hodu and Kush are. We know that Achashverosh was Moilich from Hodu to Kush. And we know he was one of those kings that, maybe one of those kings that owned the entire planet, right? The whole Kippah, the whole globe. Kippah sounds like the Chazal understood that the world was round, by the way. And when we say that the sun goes around the earth, that's from our perspective. As far as we are concerned, the sun does go around us. Anyway, and other discussion. There's a machlekes in the Gemara where Hodu and Kush are. Either they are right next to each other, and Achashverosh owned from Hodu to Kush, right? The entire globe, everything encompassing that, or they were on polar opposite sides of the globe, and Achashverosh owned everything in between. Okay, there is one shita that he actually lost half the kingdom, that's why he only owned from Hodu to Kush, but it happens to be that he noticed from the census that he took after he lost all these battles and left him with only Hodu to Kush, that he owned every single Jew. Every Yid was still under his authority, and that's where he celebrated that the Rosh Hashanah gave the Jews into his hands to obliterate them. Yeah, he was no tzaddik. Sar Shalom Bell says like this is a crazy machlekes. Where's Hodu? Where's Kush? Are they right next to each other? Or are they on polar opposite sides of the universe? Like, this is me cuts out. Like, what? Look, if you want to say a little machlekes, it's green, it's off green, it's purple, it's blue, okay, they're close. I mean, are they directly next to each other? Or on opposite sides of the world? I mean, that's like how did that machlekes even come to be? Zok the Sar Shalom of Bells is a murdering word. He says, what's Hodu? Hodu is a Hoid, it's splendor, it's glory, it's beauty. That's the book of the tzaddik. That is the bechina of Mordechai HaTzaddik. What's Kush? Kush is a black. It's a darkness. It's muddy. Not so gishmak. That's the place of home in Russia. And there are people that find themselves in the dirt. They find themselves in Kush, and they're looking out at the world, and they're thinking, how am I going to ever get to Hodu? I mean, look at it. It's on the other side of the universe. Zok the Sar Shalom of Bells. Look down the block. It's not on the other side of the world. The other side of the machlekes is that it's right there, right next to you. But there's another side to the machlekes. Sometimes we see people, and mamish, their Hodu and Kush are right next to each other, and this guy is like it looks like that this guy he's mamish Kush. He says, don't confuse it. Don't confuse it. Sometimes what you see is not really what you get. You never know, you never know, you never know, you never know. I just heard this ma'aser. David Echtzin heard it over from Yid, who was in Uman, and he saw this Yid praying, davening by the Kaver Rabbi Nachman of Breslov. And the way he describes him, he says it was like, it just disgusted him. This guy had flaming red hair, huge Breslov Peyos, the ones that he flips up in the dryer every morning, and a ponytail. And he's like, dude, just like pick one. Are you a ponytail or are you Peyos? Like, it's just a pella big thing. And the guy was there visiting with mine for a week, and he saw this red-haired guy every single day by the caver. So at the end, he went over to him and he said, like, can I ask you, what's the deal with the ponytail and the Peyos? Like, where are you holding? And he said, I was so happy I asked. Because the guy explained to me that he was in the hospital. He was visiting somebody. And on the other side of the room, there was a girl who was undergoing chemotherapy. And her hair was starting to fall out, and it was devastating. I mean, for guys, it's uncomfortable. For a girl to lose her hair, it's like she loses her whole identity. And this bacher turns to this guy and says, I noticed that we had the same color hair. I had the same crazy red hair that she was losing. So I told her, you know what? Listen closely. I'm going to grow out my hair. And I'm going to give it to you to make into a wig. So you'll be able to at least wear your hair, look like yourself until this is all over. Do you believe this? He said, I saw that Mamash gave her a nechama. Family was just like relieved. But the problem was, my parents weren't very excited that I was doing this whole Breslov thing anyways. And now if I start growing a ponytail, who knows what they're gonna think. So I came up with an eitzah. I came to Uman. I'm hanging out here for 6 months. And after 6 months, I'm gonna cut off my hair and go back. My parents don't have to know about it. This way I could donate the hair to this cancer warrior. And I can be mechabed. Yimei. Can you imagine? This guy said, I felt so bad about how I judged this guy. I thought he was Kush. I mean, he is Hoid Sheba Hoid. This is the most beautiful tzaddik. I mean, like, that's the hair of a nazir, you know? That's God's kapella. May we see in these 2 months of Adar, in these 60 days, a total mahapecha of Eivel Yom Tov, miyogoin l'simcha, and everything that we thought was impossible. If we want it, Be'ezras Hashem, we will get it. All the good in the world. Amen. Ki yehi ratzon. Miyogoin l'simcha, me'eivel Yom Tov, la'asoi zesam, la'asoi zesam, Yimei Mishteh v'simcha, miyogoin l'simcha, me'eivel Yom Tov, la'asoi zesam, la'asoi zesam, Yimei Mishteh v'simcha, Yimei Mishteh v'simcha, Yimei Mishteh v'simcha, Yimei Mishteh v'simcha, It's Chodesh.